conversations. Today I want to talk to you about the National Retail Federation and the fact that it doesn't support resellers. Oh gosh. So I bring up the National Retail Federation because I've been scratching my head about what I can do to help build the reselling community beyond what's already happening. I learned about a small organization called NARTS, that's N-A-R-T-S, which originally was started to help people who were in the consignment industry and who were opening up brick and mortar consignment shops. They've expanded a bit to include online sellers. Outside of NARTS, the only other thing I know about is the National Retail Federation. And those are the big boys, as they say, in the industry. And, you've got to have, $500,000 or millions of dollars in sales to qualify for membership, or you have to be a student. So there's nothing in between for people like myself, who is a reseller and a consignment shop owner, to really get involved with. And I have been involved with the NARTS organization, and I totally support them 100%. But they're not focused on resellers in the way that I see that industry now as someone who is reselling on Poshmark and on eBay and on Tradesy and Relove and things like that. And I think that there's a disconnect between what is happening in the industry and those it is happening to. And so one of the things I intend to do is build a community of resellers, build the army of resellers. And one of the ways I'm going to do that is I have just founded a new Jenny Girl newsletter. And that newsletter is going to start off by having any information I can find on reselling events in the LA and Pasadena area. It's going to talk about resources that are available to resellers, like tools like Steamers, or maybe a podcast that talks about a software like List Perfectly that can help you cross post and hopefully increase your sales, things like that. Maybe have guest speakers that maybe write a little bit for the newsletter, document some of the things that are happening. But what I realized by attending the PoshFest 2019 in Phoenix is that the prevailing wisdom is that we're all in a silo. We're all doing this by ourselves. And when we have an opportunity to share the reselling experience with even one other person, it's so much more interesting and so much more exciting. And it really, gives us fuel and, gives you that tingle that you need to, to keep going. And so I've attended a number of events here in Pasadena that were founded, were part of the official Poshmark Posh and Sip Coffee Edition at the Starbucks. I was a co-host for that, along with Hey Lady Hey is her name, and on Poshmark. And then I've attended the LA Reseller tour, and I went to the inaugural event that Infinitely Posh on Instagram was the idea person behind that, and I went to that event at Vincent St. Paul Society, and met all these other women, many of which were at the Posh and Sip event that was held in downtown Pasadena at a local restaurant. And so, it's really fun to be around other people who are doing the same thing, but it's not enough to just have these events every now and then. There's got to be some way to build a group, build an organization, build a community, build a reselling army that can help us beyond the once-a-year conference at Poshmark or beyond the once-a-year conference that eBay has. And I think that this is an important topic. For those of you who are interested in consignment and reselling and what the NARTS organization might be able to do for you, definitely look them up and see if there's anything of interest to you. They do have regional conferences and a national conference. But aside from that, this is something I want to focus on. And the fact that the National Retail Federation doesn't really offer anything for the millions of people that are in this section is really, really kind of extraordinary. Now, I have sent them an email, and I'm waiting to hear back from them about what they recommend for people who don't qualify for the membership and who are not students. I'll be curious to see what they say. But I want to do my part, and I've started tonight. I've drafted up my first newsletter. I've started creating my database of emails from people that I have met through all these Poshmark events, people that I know on my own, and then people from the Poshmark conference, some industry people that I know, and just see what I can do to help build a community. And if you think about it, you've got more than one reseller has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. You have a number of resellers who have 50,000 plus subscribers on YouTube. So obviously, if you put it concentric circles over all of this, there'll be some overlap. But I mean, there's probably, millions and millions of people beyond those that are reselling who would be interested in this topic. And so there's got to be a way to bring it together. And a lot of the resellers are doing their part kind of individually to bring small groups together. The people who follow them and their followers, and they're continuing to keep their own, I guess, followers informed and to continue to kind of expand that. And I think that is fantastic, and I want to support every one of those people who are doing that. I also want to build my own community that will not only be my own community, but be everyone else's community too, and be able to share all the information that other people have where it's relevant to my community, to find a way to really bring us all together. There's a lot of strength in numbers, and I think that sometimes it doesn't feel like we have a real job or a professional job, or are viewed in the right way because we work from home, or we're in so many individuals. But it's actually a really, really strong force, all of us collectively, in what we're doing. And sure, we don't have a warehouse or a storefront or the overhead that goes with those things. And we're able to earn a living, many of us full-time like myself, or some of us part-time. And it's so easy, it's legal, it's legitimate, it's fun. There's so much good that can be said about this. And technology, that's the real beauty of this, is that technology has made it easier than it has ever been to list with couple of clicks with a phone. I mean, I used eBay back when they didn't have all that, back when you had to upload photos on your computer back in the early 2000s, and then upload those photos into eBay. It was like all these steps involved, and it was painful. The shipping wasn't as sophisticated. There were so many things that have improved over time. And so the technology has allowed us to do this so much easier. And the fact that the laws have changed, and now we don't have to worry about sales tax, that can just be taken automatically by the platforms that we sell on, and then they have the responsibility of paying that back in. That is a beautiful thing, let me tell you. Because that was one of the things that really I hated about having to sell and, collect all that sales tax and then, pay it back and set it aside and all of that. I mean, that is, and do those quarterly reports, Now that we still have to do the quarterly reports, but you don't have to have that money set aside, which is just fantastic, where you've sold online. So technology is bringing reselling to the masses. It's never been more popular, and it's just going to continue to grow. And so the idea that I have is to build a community, to build an army of resellers, bring us all together, no matter what platforms we're selling on, and see how we can help elevate the conversation around this topic, and just keep it going. And with the whole issue of sustainability at the front and center of everyone's mind, this industry is more important than it has ever been to save this planet. And basically the new retail is repurposing what's already out there. And there's so many amazing things that end up in landfills, and nonprofits can't cope with all that's being donated to them. And, the United States is the largest consumer society out there. And so we are poised to be able to make sense of this problem and make it an opportunity to people who, who need to work, who are looking to build build income and find a way to do that. It could not be easier as long as you've got an internet, a hanger, a door, and a computer or phone that is capable of connecting to these apps. It could not be any easier. And so we're all benefiting from that. So if you're interested in being a part of the Jenny Girl community that I am building, you'll just need to get in touch with me so I can add you to the email list. There will be an email subscription placed on the website. It's not there yet, but it's getting up soon. So you can always just be in touch with me on Instagram and on Jenny Girls Closet there, and just be in touch. Send me a message and send me your name and your email. And obviously, if you have an Instagram, that'd be great. I could follow you back and be in touch with me there, and I will be sure and add you to this email list. And that's it. This is Jenny Walker with Jenny Girls Closet. Just want to let you know I'm beginning the new Jenny Girls newsletter for reselling. And if you want to be a part of that, you just get in touch with me and I will make sure that you are. The first newsletter will be going out this week, and it will announce several shopping trips and selling trips that are taking place. And hopefully you'll find that of interest to you. And look forward to hearing from you. Thanks again for listening. This is Jenny Walker with Jenny Girls Closet on Closet Conversations. If you like the intro song, the song is called Black Hat, performed by Jenny Walker and written by Jenny Walker and Tommy Farragher. It's available on iTunes worldwide now.